to Adventures of Deanna, the Saturday morning ritual. Welcome. I'm so glad that you're here today. Ah, welcome everybody. Hi, say hello. I'm so glad that you guys are here today. I'm so happy to see you. What a great morning. It is like beautiful. Beautiful. I feel like I'm crooked or something. I guess that'll be okay. We're just gonna have to play crooked. Like, what is that in the background I see? Anyway, good morning and welcome. So today, I just want to welcome you to another empowering session of our Saturday morning ritual. Today, we're going to dive into those sneaky traps we often fall into in our wellness journey. The perfectionist pitfall to comparison, catastrophe, so many things. These struggles, they can steal our joy, they can steal our progress if we let them. But not today. Together, we are going to just talk about how to build a sustainable, balanced, and emotionally healthy approach to weight loss and personal growth. So let's move forward without any stress, without any burnout, just with grace and patience and fun. Because I like to have fun. Do you like to have fun? Hi, Lori. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Mary. Oh my God, all my favorites are here today. I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to watch the Saturday morning ritual. So we got to get started, of course, with our first ritual, our very favorite ritual, the most exciting ritual of all rituals, the brain body connection. We are going to get up. We're going to move our bodies. We're going to have some fun just for a minute. Sit there and watch. Keep doing whatever you're doing. Maybe you're doing laundry. Maybe you're driving in your car. Maybe you're whatever. But if you're sitting, stand up just for a minute and move your body with me so we can get everything moving and a grooving, because I believe that it's all connected and that whenever our body's awake, our mind is also awake as well. So let's get this party going right now. I'm trying to hit the button, but I can't find it. Here we go.
I'm saying let's go. You're saying maybe. Let's find a disco. You're stuck at home being so lazy. Hey. Give me some energy. Wanna come dance with me. Give me some energy. Wanna come dance with me. There's no fire without smoke, I ain't letting you go. I can see you buzzing like you can't say no. There's no fire without smoke, I ain't letting you go. Come on, let yourself be free. Be the best that you can be. Come move your body. Come move your body. Only settle for the best. Live your life with no regrets. Come move your body. Come move your body.
Yay! Awesome sauce. Yay. Thank you so much for getting up and moving. Let me scoot you the chair over so we can talk, so we can chat, so we can have folding towels. See, I knew somebody was going to be doing laundry. I knew it. Mary, are you busy? Are you busy with making all your crafty stuff? It's like crafty season. Time to sell things. Just wondering. Cheryl, how's it going? How is being chief caretaker? Chief caretaker. Lori, I guess you're chief caretaker as well. In your family, chief caretaker. Raise your hand if you feel like you're chief caretaker. I have not yet, but soon. I have a husband, which I am chief caretaker of. It's like he's a small child sometimes. What about you? Let me know. Anyway, so Saturday morning, this is my new Saturday morning ritual, is this live stream. It's kind of a time for me to check in with you all. It helps to keep me accountable. It's a great time to reflect on the past and set strategies for the week ahead. I think that two heads are better than one. So when we come together as a group, you feel supported, you feel connected, you just feel better and more accountable towards your goals, more committed towards your goals. But it helps you with just your self awareness and overcoming obstacles and challenges and whatever. How are you guys' steps going? How is everybody in the steps challenge for September? I think because we took such a long break, it was like slow goings in the beginning because everybody kind of had to remember, oh God, I got to turn in my steps. And oh yeah, I'm supposed to be getting steps. We're so out of practice with the steps challenge that there was a little warm up period. Chief caretaker had done scares yesterday. We needed a oh no, oh no. Yeah, don't forget, turn in your steps. Don't forget, turn in your steps. Mm-mm. Not well, you were a pretty high stepper, Miss Lady, Miss Cheryl. So I would not be sad with less results because you have so many more responsibilities than you used to have. And you used to get some really high steps. So I'm sure what you're doing is perfectly adequate, perfectly adequate. I'm doing better this week than last week for steps. I think I am too. I think I am doing better this week for steps as well. That is excellent. I'm so glad that, we all have this thing in common that we're doing this steps challenge. It's just like, it feels good. It feels like, connection, connection, connection. Misty, did those photos pop up in your memories today? A year ago, I met Misty, your pal Misty. She came and visited me, and it was the best thing in the whole wide world. And it was a year ago. We were celebrating our a year of meeting in person. Memories. It also kind of makes you sad a little bit because it's like, oh, I want to go back. We had such a good time doing all the things. Oh my god! And the weather is just like when she came to visit, it's just perfect. Oh my god. Oh my god. So before I pollute your brain. Oh wait, first up, choo 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 choo. Oh yeah, before we pollute our brain, we're gonna do our first journal exercise. And I did do a journal sheet this week, and it's on my website, adventuresofdeanna.com. So if you want to grab that, you can go there, and then under downloads, you'll find it. But the first question I'm going to ask you this week, let me know in the comments if you feel so open and sharing. But what do you think your biggest struggles are with weight loss or weight maintenance? What do you think that your biggest struggles are? We're just going to take a second out to think about that for a minute. And then we'll be back. So let me know, what are your biggest struggles with weight loss?
Even if you lose your hope, I will be there to pick you up. Even if you can't let go, I'll untie the invisible ropes that keep you down. I'm taking matters into my own hands now. Let's face it, we only got this life to live out. So follow me, I'm ready to go. I'll take the lead, I'm ready to go. Ready to go. Ready to go. Ready to go. Ready to go.
Woo, yay. Okay, so we got some people We got some comments. That's awesome. Keeping up with food prep lately. Going to put more effort into doing this. Need to remember to take time out to take care of myself during the day. Oh my God, don't we all need to do that? Even if we are taking time, we need to take more time, right? I feel like you can never get enough time for yourself. Ah, could be, these animals are driving me crazy. Just wanted to let you know that, by the way. So we're gonna get into these a little bit more in just a second, but first we're gonna the next ritual is we gotta take a look at the past week. We gotta say, uh, this is why I was awesome. Why were you awesome? Why were you fire? Why were you just like so cool? What other words could I insert there? I don't know all the cool lingo anymore. I'm old, I don't have to keep up with that stuff. But why? What stood out as good to you this week? What stood out as a victory this week? I want to know your victories. My step count was good this week. My step count was really good. I got in more water this week than I have been recently, so that was really good. Really good. My tap water at home. It normally I like the tap water at my house, and it's good, and I can drink it, and it's not an issue. I've lived in places where I could not drink the tap water. Um, Atlanta, Georgia has the worst tap water, terrible water. Florida's water took some getting used to, but I could drink it. Um, I think Houston's water was trash and I couldn't drink that water at all. We had to get bottled water. But my tap water here during the summertime, it takes a very long time for it to be at a cool temperature. So then I have to put ice in it, but then struggling to get the right amount of ice to water ratio so where it's not too cold because I don't like ice water. I don't like it icy cold. I like it just room temperature cold. So this fine balancing act of the water being at the right temperature because whenever the water is too warm or too cold, I won't drink it. It just sits there. So me and my water, we're very complicated. It's very complicated, my water temperature. Oh, good. I'm so glad that your bronchitis is getting better. Where did that go? I'm able to, oh, God, it feels so much better when, isn't that, don't you just feel better when you can move your body, even if it's just like in the slightest way? It feels better just to move, just to move. Victories are each day this week. Rick and I found something little to celebrate. It's helping us during this hard time. Yes. Being grateful, finding something good about the day, being like, this, she didn't quit her job. She's amazing. She didn't quit her job. Cool. It just finding that little bit of gratitude each and every day. It does help with your outlook on life. Being grateful for the food that's on your plate instead of being negative towards whatever it is that's on your plate is a huge benefit. Huge benefit. Very, very, very big. So I'm so proud of you guys and all of your victories. Keep keep track of those victories. It's easy to forget what our victories that we have. It's easy to forget how pretty cool we are, how pretty awesome we are. And if you write them down, if you keep track of them, it's something great that you can look back on whenever you're feeling down, when you're feeling negative, when you're feeling worthless, or insert your own words there. You can look back and it can help remind you of all the things that you are capable of because you are capable of so much. And you've already done so many amazing things. Don't forget, don't forget how many amazing things that you've already done and what you're still capable of doing. You're still capable of it. You don't lose that. It's part of your essence. It's part of your essence. So brings me to thinking about this past week or since you've been to the Saturday morning ritual. You can think about that too. Think about, we're going to do start, stop, and continue. What do you want to start doing? What do you want to stop doing? What do you want to continue doing? Just think about it so we can make it part of our plan for the week ahead. I'm going to leave you to think about that for just a minute, and I'll be back in just a second. All right? Okay. Is that fine with you? I hope so. If not, well, tough cookies.
Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know if I never figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down, the sky is falling down. Even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down, the sky is falling down.
Yay! Yay, yay, yay. Okay, now we get to talk about the fun stuff. Now we get to talk about the quicksand of weight loss. I just love referring to quicksand because I thought I was going to see quicksand in my real life, and I never did. So I just thought that, oh my God, all these stupid things that I get stuck in was trying to lose weight. That's the quicksand. It was all just a metaphor. All of these shows and things and told me all this quicksand. It was just a metaphor for all this stupid stuff that I go through in life. And that's my quicksand. So let's talk about the quicksand, the traps, the little things that lead to, whatever. So the first is the perfectionist trap. Anybody ever fall into the perfectionist trap? If it's not perfect, it's not worth it. Does that sound familiar to you? Perfectionism is very, very often the enemy of progress, especially when it comes to diet and exercise. The all or nothing mentality. All or nothing. Something is better than nothing. Okay, guys? Something is better than nothing. Remember that. Because the all or nothing mentality, that can just lead to burnout. If you planned a strict routine workout, and you missed a day, when you have this all or nothing, whenever you have it's got to be perfect mindset, it's so easy to just, throw the whole week away because it didn't go as planned. You live in the perfectionist trap. So, like, if you're, eating clean, you're doing so good, and one night you have pizza with your friends, and so instead of feeling guilty, instead of abandoning your healthy habits, just acknowledge, life happens, and get back on track with your next meal. Flexibility, oh my God, it's the best thing in the whole world. It just allows you to move forward. You don't have to punish yourself. You just go right back to the regular things that you do versus being so strict and hard on yourself and punishing and mean, nasty. Just when things change, we talked about plans changing last week, but what's the next best thing I can do for my health right now? What's the next best thing? Maybe it's just, taking a walk. Maybe it's choosing something better at your next meal. Progress is just, it's one small decision at a time. There's no perfection in it. There's no perfection in it. Getting better at lowering my expectations. Me too, especially when it comes to my time management skills. Oh my God, I thought of something and then I was going to share with you guys, and then it left And now it just reminded me that I had a thought, but I don't know what it was. That was really useful information, wasn't it? Glad that was really useful. So we can be perfectionists. The other thing is we get, there's a hair on my face. Okay, sorry. The quick fix obsession, instant gratification. Have you ever felt in the instant gratification trap? It's so easy to get frustrated whenever we don't see the results coming fast enough. Whether it's, fad diets that we want to try because we think we're going to lose so fast, or extreme exercise routines to just lead to that whole burnout, stress, injury. Oh my gosh, they're just setting us up for failure. Like I just said, they're just not maintainable. It's just something we just can't do. It takes time. It takes consistency for real transformation to happen. And whenever we're doing these big things that are way outside our comfort zone, it is so hard to be consistent. That's why I'm a big fan of just, stretching the boundaries of my comfort zone versus completely jumping outside of it. If I'm just like taking my toe and just dipping it outside of my comfort zone's right there. So, like, it's not that hard. It's not that uncomfortable. It's easier to do than whenever I have to go completely outside of my comfort zone. Have you ever seen, like, talking about quick fixes, like detox teas? These lose 10 pounds in 10 weeks. They're always really, really, really tempting, but the truth is that they aren't sustainable. So focus on just making the small, manageable changes like drinking more water, adding your veggies, getting your sleep in. Oh, yay! It's so nice to go for a walk with friends. You enjoy that. You enjoy that because it's a blessing. It's a blessing to be able to go for a walk with friends. And the time goes by so fast. Find a walking buddy, man. That's the best thing you can do for yourself. It's just really is a good thing. So I'm proud of you, even if you don't get to stay and chat with us all. Anyway, so quick fixes. Ignore. I don't think anybody here really falls into the quick fixes, but sometimes they get pretty tempting. You can be having a hard time, or the weight loss is slow, and it just like, oh, it looks so shiny and so pretty. And wouldn't that be awesome? Just don't fall into that trap. Don't get caught in that quicksand. Don't do it. Don't do it. Another big quicksand. Oh, this one was pretty eye opening for me. It's addressing emotional eating. We often turn to food for comfort, whether we're stressed out, if we're bored, if we're feeling down, if we're happy, if we're celebrating. Emotional eating happens whenever they mainly say it's whenever we use food to numb our emotions rather than to nourish our bodies. And so that when they say, we're doing it to numb our emotions, think of it in a way of that some people do punish themselves for being too happy. Too happy. Oh man, these good things can't happen to me. So you go and eat or overeat so that now you're mad at yourself for doing that. So that happiness goes away because you're not allowed to feel happiness. You're not allowed to have good things happen to you. That's not for you. So, as a trick to get rid of that happiness, you do something to sabotage your life in another way. Anybody relate to that? It does. It is a thing that people do for real. So it's something to be aware of if that's a way in which you are emotionally eating. It's not just when you're lonely, sad, bored, or mad, or whatever. It can also be whenever you're extremely happy. It can also be. But you do want to notice if you're doing it because of those other emotions as well. So look at all of the emotions. Think to yourself, am I eating because I'm hungry? It's always the question. Am I eating because I'm hungry, or am I eating for another reason? It, yes, ma'am, it is. And then, oh my gosh, well, don't you reciprocate my love because you're not eating the food that I made for you, so you must not love me. And that's a thought that's in their head. That's about them. That's not about you. And I too am also guilty of providing food to people as a show of love. Oh, and it's a difficult one. I would agree with that. These little I guess they're cultural things that we do whenever we show love with food and all kinds of other things. We don't have to kick them out of our lives. That's the thing. It's we just make arrangements, we make considerations for those things. If we know that that's going to happen, if it's an important part of our life, if it aligns with our values, then we make it work. We make it work. We find a way. You can find a way to make it work if it's an important thing to you. It's hard to change it that way. And there's no reason that you can't, as long as maybe, we have bad habits that are associated with showing our love with food. So if we like to make food for other people, we have to be aware of, are we taking bites, licks, and tastes while we're preparing the food? So are you having too many tasters? I got to taste it to make sure it's good, right? Okay, if you've made the recipe 100 times, do you really need to taste it, or are you just telling yourself you need to taste it? How many times do you really need to taste it before you know that it tastes good? I do think that sometimes you do have to taste the food to make sure, it's got the right balance or whatever. So I'm not going to say you never need to taste your food. But do you need 12 bites? Do you need 14 bites? Or do you need 3 bites to taste it? It's something to ask yourself, is how many. And you cater to their needs. You cater to their diet choices. So you're going to have these foods in the house. So if we're going to have these foods that are for their diet, for their preferences, for the things that they like, that they want to eat, we're going to have to work on our self-control a little bit. We're going to have to be able to be okay with having these foods in the house that we can only eat this much of and they can eat that much of. It's a skill. We work on it. We celebrate ourselves whenever we do really good at it. And whenever we don't do really good at it, we say, I'm practicing, I'm learning. It's going to be okay. We're going to do better the next time. Just like if you took a test in school. If you didn't get the perfect grade, that's okay. I'll do better the next time. What? Thanksgiving, I have a traditional and vegan for your daughter. Yep. We have to make all the things because we love these people. And that's not a bad thing to do, is to shower people with love through food. It's not a bad thing. It just means that we have to have skills around that. We just need to work on our skills of not eating too much while we're preparing it, by being okay with watching other people eat it and us not eat it if that's what we want to do, or to make, allowances for certain things. It's just learning skills. It's just being prepared. That's all it is. So there's all kinds of different ways. God, this topic is like so huge. We could go on. I know I've done episodes just on this topic itself, but watch your emotional eating. Keep a food journal. food and feelings journal and write down how you feel before and after eating, because this is one way that you can help identify with patterns. It can help you to recognize if you're having emotional triggers that are having you eating, or if it's not an emotional trigger. Sometimes, like Thanksgiving for one, it can be a stressful time. Family can be very stressful, and maybe that stress is what's causing you to eat. It's not actually the items of food itself, but it's the stress. Or it can be a combination of, oh, here's this food I never ever, allow myself to eat, plus the stress. And then it's like overwhelm, and you don't know what to do, and you find yourself eating all the foods. So we have to just be aware of it. Self-awareness is the number one key to the whole thing. Once we find out what it is that we are doing, then we can work on our strategies. And sometimes it takes a lot of practice, because I tried that strategy, that didn't work out so well. I tried this strategy, it didn't work out so well. I was pretty good at this strategy, but I need a little bit of work at it, and I just need to keep practicing it. I think that one's going to work for me. It just takes time. It takes time. And there's no one fix for everybody. It would be great if the same fix that worked for Cheryl worked for Lori, worked for Mary, worked for Misty. It doesn't work that way. We are each very unique individuals with our own unique problems and solutions. That's the joy of being human. And that's why I have to talk about the next one is comparison. It's so easy. Oh my God. I hate this one because I fall into this one a lot. Other people's progress. It's easy to look at other people's progress and feel discouraged. But that comparison, it's never any good. It's never any good. It hurts so bad whenever you compare yourself to others. What works for others might not work for you, and it's okay. And I'm just saying this as a reminder for myself. Really, the only person that I need to compare myself to is who I was yesterday. That's it. Only person you need to compare yourself to is who you were yesterday. Whenever, you see all these strangers or even friends, posting online about their awesome transformation, you might feel less proud of your own progress. Oh my God. Or why can't I gain muscle like they did? They got muscle in all the right places, and mine is just like hidden. All we can have all kinds of these thoughts, We have to embrace us. Are you better than you were yesterday? Then be proud of yourself. Be happy. Everybody's path is unique and different. And in this room, I see so much growth from people. I see transformation. I see the work you're doing. I'm proud of you, and I think you should be proud of yourself too. Don't compare yourself to others. Everybody's on their own trajectory, own path, and you never. Anyway, I'm not even going on that. Focus on your own non-scale victories. Did you feel stronger? Are your clothes fitting better? Did you make a healthier choice than you would have last year? Celebrate those wins. We've all, yes, I agree, Miss Cheryl. I agree. We have all thought these thoughts. And they can be they can get like so trapped in our heads and we can't seem to get out of it sometimes. Call a friend. Sometimes you're just not thinking right and you can't figure it out, and you need a friend to help you to get on the right path. That is so true. Having a friend. Here's another fun, quick sandy trap we get put into is sleep. We often underestimate how crucial sleep is to our overall wellness. Lack of sleep can make us hungrier than we normally would be. It can make our cravings more intense. It can mess with our motivation to stay on track with our fitness goals, our eating goals, all of our goals in life, really. Prioritizing sleep is a form of self care that is just helpful. It fuels your body, your success. It's amazing. Uh, Sleep deprivation, it increases ghrelin, which is a hunger hormone, and it decreases leptin, and that's another hormone, and that tells you that you're full. So this sleep deprivation stuff, it can lead to overeating. Uh, so focus on your sleep. You've heard the tips before about, reducing your screen time and dimming the lights and all of the fun things. Focus on your sleep if that's an issue for you. Focus on your sleep. Mm. Mm. Another thing, another trap, and this trap is a huge trap, is we focus on the scale. We focus on the number that is spit out by the stupid device that's on the floor. It's just one metric. It doesn't tell you about your energy. It doesn't tell you about how your clothes are fitting. It doesn't tell you about your mood. It doesn't tell you about how strong you are. It doesn't tell you about how you feel and what. It doesn't tell you anything except for what your weight is. Stop focusing on the scale so much. How do your clothes fit? How do you feel? How is that energy? That's really the key thing here, is that the scale just, it lies sometimes. It lies. So it's okay to stay on the scale. It's okay to get that metric, but make sure that you're measuring other things as well. Just measure those other things. How is your endurance? Just think about these things. So anyway, I want to talk about the next part of this. I'm going to skip the journaling exercise because I think the biggest part of these traps is our identity and our beliefs. Because our identity and our beliefs are a lot of what needs to sometimes change in order to not get stuck in these traps. If you have a belief that I have to be perfect to succeed, I have to be perfect to succeed. What's going to happen if you're not perfect? If this is a belief that you have, it often comes from the identity of being a high achiever, someone who ties their self-worth to flawless execution. Anyway, if we believe that mistakes equate to failure, what are we going to do whenever things don't go according to plan? We're just going to give up. So we have to change our beliefs. If you hear yourself saying things like, I have to be perfect to succeed, I didn't do that 100%. We need to try and shift our belief. Embrace the idea. I can't talk, I'm sorry. Embrace the identity of someone who is resilient and adaptable rather than perfect. Having a belief that progress is messy and setbacks are part of the journey can be it's really helpful to think that way, because instead of thinking that everything has to be perfect, you're just someone who can get up easier. So whenever you fall down, whenever you aren't perfect, if you think that progress is messy, your downtime is going to be a lot less than somebody who thinks, oh, I've got to be perfect. If you think that you've got to be perfect, you're going to like, oh man, F it and quit for like a week before you get back to doing the things. Versus if you think that, progress is messy, well, it's a lot easier to get back at it, like at the next meal, the very next day, whatever it is. How lucky I am. How lucky I am. It's okay to be less than perfect. We're all work. I'm just a work in progress. It's so much better than, oh my God, I suck. On to the quick fix thing. If I don't see immediate results, I'm failing. Ah, this can be from an identity of impatience or tying success to instant gratification. It's so easy to feel that these days because our society pushes the idea that quicker is better. Quicker is better. And if results don't come fast enough, we internalize that as a flaw in our abilities. Okay, is quicker better? Let me ask you. Have you ever had chicken that was cooked in a microwave or versus chicken that was, say, baked in the oven or some other slower method of cooking it? Which one was better? Which one was better? The chicken that was quick and in the microwave or the chicken that was roasted in the oven? Quicker is not always better. Quicker is not always better. So, whenever we take our time, whenever we do it slowly, we allow time for our abilities to grow, for our body to change, for our beliefs to see. Yeah, the chicken that's made slower for sure, 100% of the time. Whenever we do things slower, it just we can make these habits more long lasting. Whenever you just let's take studying for an example. When you cram for a test and study up, really study just for the test. And then you take the test, and then 3 weeks later, somebody's going to ask you the questions that were on that test. How much do you remember? For me, I don't remember very much at all because I can cram to remember for the short term, but I won't remember it for the long term. For me to remember something for the long term, I have to study differently. I have to really practice the stuff in order to remember it for the long term. So the quick fix, yeah, it might get me an A on that test, but it's not going to get me the knowledge in my head. It's just going to get me through that test. So believe that you're capable of committing to the process, understanding that true success is built over time. Over time. I'm a person who values patience and steady progress. Mm. Oh, food is how I cope. Food is how I show love. So if you see you're someone as who lacks other emotional outlets, it's really easy to fall into this trap of turning to food for comfort. But we can redefine who we are. We can always tell ourselves that we are becoming someone else. I am learning to do this. I am working on this. I am strong enough to face my emotions without food. I can show love in other ways. Yes, I know that I've always shown love with food, but there are other ways for me to show my love as well. And I'm slowly learning that. Slowly learning that. So you don't have to stop it, but you can also practice showing love in other ways as well. Maybe you can write a love note. I don't know, gifting. There's all kinds of ways that we can show our love. And then I'm not good enough compared to others. I'm not good enough compared to others. Yikes. Wow, that was loud. I'm sorry. That was loud. Okay, so where was I before my dog rudely comparison often it comes from the identity of feeling less than. When your sense of self-worth is tied to how you measure up to others, it can play a big role in this. We have to start seeing ourselves as someone who's, we're on a personal journey and we're unique. We're incomparable to anyone else. I think I often this goes back to, whenever I was a tiny child. My brother Mike, he was always better than me in everything that he did, and everything seemed to come to him so easily. And that gave me a belief that I'm less than in so many, in every single way. And that's a hard thing whenever you've been practicing being less than others for most of your life. And then realizing later, 45 years later, that so many of your struggles are based on this belief that you got and practiced whenever you were a small child. It's hard to undo that. That's 45 years in the making of this belief. Don't be hard on yourself whenever, it's hard to shift. Our beliefs are so ingrained into the things that we do. It takes time and it takes practice. It really does, especially whenever it's something that has been just, a part of who you were for as long as just be patient. I'm working on being patient. I am realizing that my self-worth is not tied to this. I realize now that I am awesome. I am amazing. So the next belief, because we got to wrap this up soon. We got to wrap this up sometime today, right? Right? Um, a belief is I can function just fine with minimal rest. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I got to get this done because I'm a hard worker. I'm a hustler. I have to be productive. Sleep is a luxury that I just can't afford. I got to take care of everybody else. I got to get this all done. When we are doing all of that and we're just like not getting our sleep, it's not always going to work out for us in the best. But if we embrace the identity of someone who values balance, who understands that rest is just as important as action, when we believe that taking care of ourselves makes us more productive and more successful in the long run, it's awesome. So just replace. I can sleep when I'm dead. Have you ever said that? I have. I'm guilty. I'm someone who prioritizes sleep because it fuels my mind, fuels my body, and it gives me success. But these shifts don't come overnight. They're things we have to work on. I'm telling you, it's hard whenever we have these beliefs that are just part of who we are. We have to slowly erase them. Slowly erase them. We can believe that our worth is tied to the number on the scale. It can from just could have started in school days. The scale was so important when we had all these friends that were dead, and everybody's so obsessed with the scale all the time. The scale is huge, 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 huge. And I feel so sorry for I don't know if I feel sorry anyway. But there was a lot of people who had to weight was really important. They had to be in a certain weight class to do things in sports, tying their worth to the stupid scale. Just redefine yourself as someone who values overall well-being, who sees success in more than just your physical measurements, more than that size in the shirt that you wear or the pants that you wear or the number on the scale. Your strength, your energy, your mental clarity, your happiness, they are so much more valuable than that number on a scale. You say to yourself that I am someone who values my entire well-being, my entire well-being. I celebrate my strength. I celebrate my energy and how I feel in my body. So lack of sleep, it sure does, man. Lack of sleep. The difference whenever I have lack of sleep, whenever I've slept well, is you don't want to be around me whenever I haven't slept well. That's all I got to say about that. And I've told myself that for a very long time. And I think that actually helps with me getting more sleep. So, which of these beliefs do you think that maybe you might have a belief that's not working for you? Is there a belief that you think you need to transition to a better belief system? Is there a belief that, isn't working out? So, me losing 120 plus pounds to love the person I was before I lost the weight. Mm. The first time I lost 80 pounds, I would say that that was true too. I thought that that meant, uh, I thought that losing the weight would, be all the difference in the whole world. And it wasn't until I lost that 80 pounds that I fell in love with who I was personally, outside of this shell of a body, me, that I loved me at whatever weight I was. I am so amazing and spectacular, and my weight is not all tied to that. Yeah, my weight fluctuates. I might not be at my desired goal weight, but that doesn't mean that I'm not awesome and spectacular. Not at all. But before I lost the 80 pounds years ago, oh yeah, I'm just not, I'm nothing until I get to my goal weight. I'm nothing. But then I learned that, oh my God, I'm awesome. And it didn't matter what my weight was. It didn't matter at all. Yeah, we're so mean to ourselves. And it's just, we have some bad habits. We're not, that's it. We put so much into that number. But I guess that was the best thing that came out of it, was that I learned to totally love myself, regardless of what my size was, regardless of my weight. And I guess that's why I'm patient with myself, is because I love myself. I don't have to wait to do something until I lose the weight, because why? There's no reason for that. If I want to do something, I can do it now. Doesn't matter what size I am, because I'm good enough to do it now as I am, if it's something I want to do. So think about your beliefs. What is one belief that you think that maybe you want to change, and how are you going to change it? How's that phrasing? How's that phrasing going to change for you? If you have a belief that I'm working on believing I am becoming a person who doesn't have to be perfect all the time. I am working on not having to do everything for everyone all the time. I'm working on becoming someone who lets things go to the next day. I'm working on staying in my own lane. I'm working on staying in my own lane and being proud of where I am. So many things. So think about that's a lot to think about this week, actually. It's a lot to think about. How are you going to, let's plan for the week ahead. Let's think about what's going to be going on this week, anything coming up. And let's just plan to think about our identity this week and see where it comes up in our daily lives. Oh my God, wow. This is what I'm doing in this moment. If you have any big moments where this comes up this week, that is all. If you want to take some time out and journal on these ideas and concepts later today, it can be beneficial in helping you to just have that time with yourself and realize, oh, what she was talking about. That's what she was talking about. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I just love you guys so much, and I am so appreciative for you every single day. I'll see you guys later. Stay curious, stay determined, be you. And until next time, keep writing, keep exploring, and keep losing those pounds. I'll see you guys in the next one, as always. It's going to be an adventure. And now Deanna's going to struggle to find the end of this video so that she can press the play button. Isn't that exciting? I could say nasty things to myself right now, or I could just say, well, that's life. Anyway, I'll see you guys soon. Oh, and